Hi everybody, welcome to my channel So Stylish. I haven't done a video for about 1 or 2 weeks, so because we are busy with building here, I'm busy building a little studio for myself, so it's been so dusty, it's been so noisy, so I apologize if you haven't been getting regular videos from us, but we are getting back on track now. So my Facebook pages, I don't know if you guys are on my Facebook pages, go look for Bernina Edenvale and also Surfer Design South Africa. I love doing posts with things that I see on Pinterest, videos that I sometimes find and that. And this morning I was just going through some videos and I just came up and I thought I would love to make myself a reference file just with sewing techniques in. Sometimes if I'm doing something, I can just go back and flip. It's almost like making my own book that I know of techniques that I use all the time. For my Surfer designs already, I'm just going to share with you guys, I do have a reference file already. I just want to take this template out. Let me just open up a page where I work with the Surfer Designs templates that Glenda has got on her website at surferdesigns.com. So as I'm designing or working through stuff, you'll see I make little notes for myself. When I see a design, I just want to get to one of my pictures. If you all followed me on Facebook, you know I made a jacket like this in our lockdown. So this was my planning of the jacket. What did I want to do with it? So I do love my reference files, and now I just thought I would love a reference file on sewing techniques, like when we are doing different kinds of zips, when I do a welt pocket, all sorts of things, different finishes on necklines, all of that. And I put out the question there, who would like to join me on this? So please go answer on my Bernina Edenvale or the Surfer Designs page. In that post, just go comment, because if we've got people that would love to do it with me, I can do a video every 2 weeks where I cover a technique and we build a reference file together. And wherever you are, you can build your reference file. If you've got ideas of some techniques that you would like to see, you can always just post it also on my Facebook page. And I will have a look at it and we build up a file together so that, let's say in about 3 or 6 months time, we've actually got our own flip file with all these ideas, all these techniques in there. So please go to my pages. If you haven't liked my Facebook pages yet, please go like them and stay updated with what we're doing, because I do post all my new goodies that we get, all our new videos, anything I see on Pinterest, I do try and post regularly on there. So the information will be below this video for all our pages and also my website, which is the Surfer Design South Africa, where we do have an online store with all these goodies that I'm going to show you now. So let me start talking first. The first thing that I always have with me is my pins. I love having the wrist one. This is a prim one. I've actually got to get stock of it again. And I only work with glass-headed pins. So these glass-headed pins that we sell, I think it's the So Easy range that we keep. They don't rust. I can press over them. The glass heads don't melt, because sometimes I pin and I just want to quickly do a steam or something, and I know it's going to be safe with working with this. And as I'm sewing as well, I don't have, I know I used to years ago just work with my magnet, but since I'm on this, I'm telling you, I don't use my magnet anymore, because as I'm sewing, I can just take out my pins and pin all the time. I don't have to go and look for my magnet or anything like that. So as I'm designing, as I'm sewing, I have always got this on my wrist. So that is the first goodie I wanted to show you. The other one that we got in recently, and I started using it a couple of months ago, is these pattern weights. Now, if I design and I work with my patterns or even my commercial patterns, I love having these. They've got like a heavy weight, you can hear them. And they've got pins. So if I put them down, I'm going to put them down on there now on my ironing board to show you. But I can stack them, however many I've got. And my paper doesn't move on my pattern piece, because I tend to cut with my rotary cutter when I'm cutting out my patterns as well. So that is my other thing that I cannot be without, is my pattern weights. The next item is going to be my tailor's ham. I iron everything on it, all my dots, my collars, anything that's curved. Sometimes if it's just a small area as well, I tend to put everything over this. For me, it is just, I cannot be without it. Honestly, even my shoulder curves, everything, if I put in the sleeve, I somehow manage to always get a curve that I need to use on there. Another gadget, and I'm going to demonstrate all of this for you just now. Another gadget, I love the Clover chalk. It's a powdered chalk. And I've got the white one. I don't have two different ones. I actually just buy the refills and I change my tip with that. So you can buy each one, but I just find I love them. I recently saw someone said they battled to get the chalk out of fabric. And honestly, I've been working with this one now I've been working with the Clover one for about 6 years. I've never had a problem. I can just basically rub on my fabric and it just disappears. So I do love these ones. I can really work with it and draw lines with my ruler quite close, or the point quite close to my ruler. You'll see it's quite a narrow point. Can you see there? So I can really get in close to my ruler. So this is my marking tools that I use. I don't have hundreds of other marking tools. I don't use the friction pens. I know some ladies love the friction pens, but because I also work a lot with knits, I find those other pens tend to sometimes catch or drag on my soft knits, where this one just runs smoothly over it. So that is my marking tools. You won't really see me with any other marking tools. Then on ruler wise, we sell these in the shop. And mine, you can see, is used. Mine is so old, I've got to actually get myself a new one now. It's got centimeters and inches. I just love this one. If I'm designing, I use my Sure Design rulers, and then I tend to grab this one as well for certain items that I'm working on. And then what we currently have now that we got in about 2 months ago is this hot iron ruler. And for us in South Africa, it's all in centimeters, so it's in metric, which is so nice. I've got my straight side for if I'm doing my hems. I've got 3 different curves on the roundness. Can you see? They're all different as well. Then I've got the sharp point. So now I've been doing my hems with this. So instead of sitting and using my seam gauge or a ruler like this, I literally, as I'm pressing my hem, I'm using this. So I'm going to demonstrate this for you. And then last, something that I cannot be without, it's called Simflex. It's my expanding sewing gauge. And this I use for when I'm doing my buttonholes. So if you look at this one, I can literally, it's for pleats, it's for buttonholes, anywhere I need to measure. I can decide I need 5 buttons and I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 5. And I will then space it out on the garment and see, okay, it's going to work. That's the measurement. No, I need to add maybe another button. I don't use my calculator or measuring tape when I'm doing my buttonholes. This is my marker that I've got. So I'm just going to go down to my ironing board just to demonstrate something for you. But all these gadgets that I've shown you, as I said, this is my everyday gadget that I use. The others is nice to have. It really is nice to have, but these are my practical things that I cannot be without. So let me go down and just show you something that I'm going to do here now. Okay guys, so I've just set it up here just to show you. This is my little station that I've got that I use all the time when I iron, because it can stand on a table. And then I've also got, I love using my small little iron. I've got this little steam iron. It's actually a Prim one. We are battling to get stock at the moment. The supplies are out, but you can see I can do all the pressure. I can set it to steam or not steam. There you can hear the steaming. So for me, I really love working. I find sometimes the bigger iron, when I'm working on my small ironing board, is a little bit big and bulky for me. So that's going to be preference, but this is my little iron. I just want to show you. I'm just using a piece of fabric just to show you. So let's say I'm now going to do hems. I've got my centimeters, so I can say, okay, there's 2.5, or I can say, no, I'm going to do 3 centimeters. So can you see, as I'm working, I don't have to go measure all the time, because this is already measuring it for me. And I'm just going and I am steaming on this one. And as I'm steaming, I can push against the edge. So I'm getting quite a nice smooth edge. I actually almost push it against the fabric there. And if you look at that, there I get a really nice smooth edge. Look how flat it is. And even. So as I'm working around wherever I'm hemming, I just move this around. If I'm really needing corners or that, I can use my corners or my curves with this ruler. So this is really, for me, become one of my tools that I really use all the time. So that was the one that I wanted to show you. The next thing that I wanted to show you as well is my hem. This is just, I'm making another jean jacket that we're doing in our design class, the online course that I'm doing. But I just wanted to show you. Can you see I've got a bit of a curve over here? So I hope you can see the curve. So what I've done is I've removed my bust dot there, but because of the way these panels are, I've just got the tip of my bust dot there. So I really wanted to still keep the shape as if it's going over the bust area. Can you see there? So I can literally go and shape. And now if I'm pressing over the area where my dot was. And what happens now is if I don't work on a curved area, wherever that point is, so even if it's a big bust dot, I can stretch the fabric out around this area if I'm working flat. I just want to show you. So if I'm working flat, can you see what's going to happen? And I'm trying to go flat and I might stretch the fabric there, and then you get all these funny puckers happening there. Because it's over the bust area, I need to shape it as if it's going over my bust area, and that's where I would use my tailor's hem. As I said, I have pinned collars around it. I've done my shoulder edges around it. So that's the other tool that I've got. And then lastly, what I wanted to show you as well, sorry, I'm still got pins in this one. I'm busy working with it, but I just grabbed it for this video. But just to show you something, oh yes, and I wanted to show you also now that you can see, I've got pins on my fabric weight. So if I am working, that pins actually, it goes into whatever my surface is and it can't move. Can you see that? Usually when you get other pattern weights, they can move around. These ones don't move. I can push and nothing is going to happen to them. So that's why I prefer having these proper weights instead of making my own, because I just want that sturdiness, especially if I'm working with softer fabrics that can move around a little bit. But now I'm going to show you, if I was, let's say I finished my jacket and I've done all my top stitching, everything. Now I'm just going to do it on this part. I'm not going to, or I can show you up to there. Let's say I want to do 5 buttons, 2, 4, 5. I'm just going to open it. So I can already have marked because I know how far down I want. I'm just going to do a little mark there. That's where I want my first buttonhole to be. And I know, let's go a little bit more. With this one, I might need 6. No, we might do with 5. Let's see, I'm just going to measure it. So can you see how I can just go and place it? I can place it exactly so that when I'm measuring, I'm getting that even line. And all I have to do is I go in again with my clover because of this point. I can really go in and mark. Just doing these marks there. Can you see there? And I've just gone and marked. So for me, it's an easy way. So I just love using that gadget. I hate it when I had to mark a buttonhole and then I've got to try and figure out how far down it's got to be. So for me, it is really a nice gadget to use. So again, I wanted to show you on my clover. If I just go rub it, or I've got a wet cloth, I can just wipe it off. Can you see how it's starting to disappear there already? So I don't have issues with my clover pen at all when I'm working with it. So, and obviously, like I mentioned with my wrist, if I had to pin everything when I'm going to be sewing, for me, it's so easy to just go and grab my pins over there, not to go looking for my magnet or anything like that. So that is my gadgets that I use all the time. All right, guys. So that was just a short demonstration just to explain to you my must-have tools that I've got that I use all the time. There's a lot of gadgets out there in the market, and I've also, sometimes I fall into this temptation and I buy gadgets and I never use it and they end up in a drawer somewhere. These gadgets I've just shown you are never packed away. They are always somewhere on my shelf so that I can just reach for them and I can go and work and draw lines, they do markings and hemming, pressing hems. I'm someone that I press as I go. I will not, if I sew a seam, I go and press it. So my ironing board, my little iron, this one is always on my iron. Those are goodies that's also always out. So I love the pressing process. For me, it's not some people say it takes time. For me, you know what, I get that professional results when I do it. And I would really encourage you to get yourself set up with a nice station where you've got your ironing board, your little ruler, your iron, and even sometimes in my board, some of my pins sometimes just get stuck in there as well, that I can just grab and just keep something in place. So get yourself set up like that. I'm promising you, these are things that you will use all the time when you're sewing. And remember, the pressing process is really to give us that professional finish. So I always hammer on pressing when I am doing my classes as that and that. So I think that's why I tend to love to show you guys my gadgets, especially when I'm pressing. So that is it for this week that I'm doing. Please remember to comment on my Facebook groups if you would like to join me in this making a reference file where we can do sewing techniques and that. It's the Bernina Edenvale Facebook page and Sure for Design South Africa Facebook page. We have got it linked at the bottom of this video. And then also please share and subscribe for our video channel so that you can get updates, especially when we start with the sewing techniques, and you will be notified as soon as we load the new videos. You guys must have a lovely week. It's becoming warmer here in Joburg. It's springtime, so we've got a lovely day today. So enjoy the warmer weather. We've had a very cold winter here in Joburg, and I'll speak to you next time.